Let me begin by apologizing everyone to everyone for being late this morning. That I had an emergency that came into my office that I had to deal with for the last few minutes. So it's my fault that we are late. Welcome to the regularly scheduled meeting on the Board of Public Works. Today, Wednesday, January 31, 2018.
Commissioners Repenning, James, Davis, and Jacinto are present. We have a quorum. May we start with Bureau introductions, beginning with the Bureau of Street Lighting.
Good morning, Ruben Flamenco, Bureau of Street Lighting.
Good morning, Tim Tyson, Bureau of Street Services.
Good morning, Patrick Schmidt, Bureau of Engineering.
Good morning, Lloyd Gang, Bureau of Sanitation.
Good morning, John Olinger, Bureau of Contract Administration.
Good morning, Ted Jordan, Public Works General Counsel.
Good morning, Raul Mendoza, Assistant Executive Officer. President James, we do not have any cards under general public comment, no cards under neighborhood council commentary, and so far no cards on any of the items.
Okay, then we'll close general public comment as well as the neighborhood council category of commentary. Let's go ahead and take care of one administrative item before we open the bids. Agenda item number 9, specifications have been submitted for board adoption and authorization to advertise for the invitation of bids in council districts 1 and 14 for the Soto Street Bridge over Valley Boulevard and Union Pacific Railroad. This is a federal project. The estimate's $11,945,664. The bid receipt date is March 7th, 2018. Is there a second to my motion that we adopt agenda item number 9 forthwith by Commissioner Jacinto? Any objection? Without objection, we will do so. Agenda item number 1, we have bids for the Hyperion Water Reclamation Plant, intermediate pump station odor control facility improvements. The estimate's $6,575,520, and it is in Council District 11. Mr. Mendoza.
Thank you, President James. The first bid received for this project is from Metro Builders and Engineers Group Limited, with a total bid amount of $8,649,373 even. That's $8,649,373. The second bid received for this project is from Carbon Activated Corporation with a total bid amount of $7,475,250. That's $7,475,250. The third bid received is from TechCom International Corporation with a total bid amount of $10,424,029.58. That's $1,0424029.58. The fourth bid received is from Myers and Sons Construction with a total bid amount of $10,075,166 even. That's $1,0075166. The fifth bid received is from Environmental Construction Incorporated with a total bid amount of $10,047,542 even. That's $1,004,752. The sixth bid received is from J.F. Shea Construction Incorporated with a total bid amount of $10,462,315 even. That's $1,046,2,315. And the seventh and final bid received on this project is from Murray Plumbing and Heating Corporation, doing business as Murray Company, with a total bid amount of $10,742,087. That's 10742,087. And that concludes the bid for this project.
Okay, thank you. Is there a second to my motion that we declare the bids open and received? By Commissioners Davis and Repenning. Any objection? Without objection, we will do so. Thank you, Community Mary. We have a special presentation this morning. This is from our Public Works Task Force Award for Employee Achievement and Morale, our team award, Outstanding Supervisor, Jimmy Quo from the Bureau of Street Lighting, presented by Mr. Quigley. Put on my glasses.
Good
Good morning.
morning, Mr. President and Commissioners. I'm James Quigley, representing the Bureau of Street Lighting. And it is my great pleasure this morning to present this award to my friend and colleague, Jimmy Quo. And Jimmy was nominated by employees who report directly to him, and they outlined the qualities that make him such an outstanding supervisor. And these, of course, are qualities that make any employee a productive and effective employee. Now, strong technical and problem-solving skills, patience in training and giving direction, taking the time necessary to make sure that instructions are clearly understood and that the report has the necessary knowledge and skills to complete the task being assigned. The ability to motivate employees by being proactive and staying on top of problems, calm and poised when things do occasionally go wrong, and finally, earned authority, meaning that staff naturally gravitate towards Jimmy, seeking solutions and information. Now, I've worked with Jimmy for years, many years, and know of no one more deserving than him for this recognition. Best of luck in your future endeavors, Jimmy. Congratulations on this outstanding award. Outstanding Supervisor, Jimmy Quo.
Thank you. We'll start with Commissioner Jacinto. Oh, Mr. Quo, don't go anywhere.
Stay up here. Jimmy. President James, thank you, and colleagues. I'm really happy to have this regular revival of our task force for employee achievement and morale. Jimmy, stand up. Oh, so they can take pictures of you. Yes, yes. We're going to talk about you, and in a good way, because supervisors, managers make the weather in the workplace, and it's so important that this recognition of your service, of your leadership as well. I don't just call you a manager, but you're a leader because of those qualities. And James, thanks for that recount of Jimmy's work and his impact on the people that he leads and serves. And that's what we strive for, to have teams that have that trust that you're able to build through your actions, through your leadership, through your service. And the important thing about it, this task force employee achievement and morale is inter-bureau. So this is a sample of all the different bureaus, and they vote on this. So this didn't come just from one bureau. It came from the department-wide, and it's vetted, and they apply. I'm happy to work with Raul on that, too. So thank you, Raul, for the work that you do, and all the team volunteer leaders who serve on this committee to be able to do this, to celebrate you, Jimmy, and we're sure that you're going to do even better work as a supervisor, as a leader, and as a manager. So congratulations, and keep going, sir.
Thank you. It's my honor to receive this award.
Thank you, Commissioner Jacinto. Commissioner Davis. Oh, one moment, sir. It's complete embarrassment day, that's all.
Jimmy, I wanted to, first of all, say to you how proud we are for you to be recognized here today as one of our leaders. And as Commissioner Jacinto said, supervisors set the tone and help define the culture in which our department exists. And you really embrace the values that we hold dear in terms of productivity, quality control, and those things. And I was really impressed with the various descriptions they had of what it is that you do in your work as an outstanding supervisor. But I noticed that there was one thing that I think that you do, even though I haven't worked with you, that really is the cornerstone to why you are successful. And that is, I believe that you're also an outstanding listener. And And I think that that is why you are able to respond so effectively with your workers. So once again, we're very proud of you and very happy that to have outstanding supervisors like you among our ranks here in the Department of Public Works. So congratulations.
Thank you. Commissioner Repenning?
Jimmy, I just want to congratulate you on your award. I think we've all experienced that management is, good management is really a gift. It's something that not everybody can do. Not everybody can manage people well. But the people that do it well, they really make a huge contribution because they not only are providing us with their own good work, but they are actually able to help other people succeed, and they help lift up other people's work. So it's great to know that you're doing that and that you're appreciated and valued by your colleagues. So congratulations again.
Thank you. And Mr. Crow, let me just say that we always appreciate the efforts of your colleagues to bring forward and to select people for these awards. It may be embarrassing for a moment or two for the people that receive it, but we really think it's important to have the opportunity to say thank you. There are so many people in our city that go the extra mile, and we like to take an opportunity to recognize them and to share in the honor with you. So thank you for being here this morning. Thank you for your continued great work, and thank you for not being somebody that's retiring today. Not that that's, it's always bittersweet. The retirements are tough. So it's for us, it's exciting to see somebody who's gonna continue to stay after receiving an award. So what we will do is we will take just a moment recess for a quick photograph with you, and then we'll be right back on our agenda. Okay, back from our recess. Mr. Quigley, thank you to you and your team as well for bringing Jimmy in today and for the work in forwarding our team efforts. Going to agenda item number 2, Council District 10, Bureau of Engineering, Task Order Solicitation number 34, Architectural and Related Engineering Design Services for Pio Pico Library Pocket Park and Underground Parking Structure Project. Recommending that the board first authorize the city engineer to issue the task to John Friedman, Alice Kim Architects from the 2014 pre-qualified on-call architectural consultants list to provide design services for the project as stated in the task order solicitation number 34 with a budget authority of $827,680, which includes contingency. Iona June? Hi.
My name is Ioana Jun. I'm working with Bureau of Engineering Architectural Division. And I just want from the beginning to mention that the project manager working on this project very diligently from the beginning is Herbert Guevara, my colleague, and I'm the supervisor presenting this project to the board. We are asking for the board approval to issue task order number 34 to John Friedman, Alice Kim Architects to provide design services, architectural and engineering design services for Pio Pico Pocket Park. The project includes the construction of a pocket park on top of an underground parking structure. This is located on a city-owned parking lot that's serving right now Pio Pico Library, located close to LA downtown in Koreatown. I would like to mention to you also, we provided some renderings that represents a concept idea of a part of a feasibility study that was done preliminary. And just want to mention also that the final design might look different, but it's gonna be better. Task order number 34 was uploaded on LABAVN, that's the City Business Assistance Network, and it was distributed to all 20 architectural companies on the pre-qualified on-call list. We received 6 proposals, and we were happy that there were so many, given the interest of Council District 10 and also the mayor in the project. Bureau of Engineering staff analyzed all 6 proposals based on the selection criteria that we have in the TOS, task order solicitation, and also shown in the board report. And John Friedman, Alice Kim, they were found to be the best qualified company, and they were selected to provide the services for this project. The final fee that was negotiated is $659,280, and this is including reimbursable. I would like also to mention that due to the tight schedule that was established with Council District 10, Bureau of Engineering issued NTP number 1 for around $98,000 for the architect to start the preliminary investigation and schematic design. Regarding the business inclusion program, I would like to mention that compared to the city established thresholds for all categories, we are a little lower. They are the company, the architects. They are a little lower for MBE, but they are 4 times higher for the women business enterprise, and they provided the proof of outreach. And going further for the design and defining more the scope, we are hoping to get these MBE percentages higher. Regarding the funding, it was approved by the mayor and the council office, the council, and it's part of a CIP. It's part of the old funds of CRA that was dissolved and presently is managed by EWDD. And also we have funding from CDBG. Thank you very much. And now if you have any questions.
Thank you. We'll start with Commissioner Jacinto.
Thank you, President James. Iona, thank you for this report. I remember in the briefing we had talked about the very intense community process to work out the parking issues, and I understand that we're doing. Can you talk a little bit about the parking, the replacement of the parking, because that's an important issue as well?
Right. So, like I said, presently there is a parking lot that is serving the library, and due to the fact that we had the council district were very close with the community to find a solution to provide this open space and green space and this park. The solution was to the project to provide the parking structure to resolve the issue of the parking in the area. And part of the solution, thank you actually for reminding me, is to, part of the project is to modify some parallel parking on the street with 45 degrees diagonal parking. So to kind of provide more parking spaces, because that's a problem in the community.
Great. So what we were able to do to modify the parking on the street to accommodate more parking spaces, as well as I also see that there's an active recreational space for children and youth. That's
right.
I think that because in many parts of our city we have not enough open park spaces and recreational spaces for
that's true, especially right in this area the community suffers because not too many open green spaces. So the park brings a...
So I'm hoping that we'll continue to have the exercise and the recreational equipment and the playground equipment for the children too as well.
Right. So they're going to include the children in there too. Open spaces. Actually, a very nice intention of the design is to bring the library out so people can come out and read. Also have festivities there, entertainment, movies, and stuff like that.
Thank you. Commissioner Davis?
Yeah, I wanted a point of clarification. In terms of parking, you said, what would the arrangements be for parking, I guess, for staff and other individuals who drive to the facility now that we've certainly transposed the parking lot to Pocket Park? So what about the parking for patrons of the library?
The underground structure with probably 2 levels with 50 parking spaces is going to take care of the patrons in the area. And also, like I said, we are trying to provide on the streets also more parking spaces.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anything further? I was happy to hear as well that there were 6 out of the 20,
yes.
and even in these robust economic times. That's good. Commissioner Jacinto has made a motion that we adopt agenda item number 2, seconded by Commissioner Davis. Any objection? Without objection, we will adopt agenda item number 2. Thank you, Ms. June.
Thank you very much.
Any issue sending number 2 forthwith? We will send number 2 forthwith. Let's take care of these bid rejections. Agenda item number 7, Council District 1, bid rejection for Mountains Recreation and Conservation Authority Confluence Plaza Interface Redesign Project, recommending that the board reject all the bids for the above-named project and the Bureau of Engineering return to the board to re-advertise the project at a later date. Safakadis? Hello, sir.
Good morning. My name is Safakadis. I'm working with the bridge program of the Bureau of Engineering. And early on December, actually in October, we have an advertisement to get bids for renovation of the MRCA Plaza, which is next to Home Depot in downtown area. We received early on December 6, 4 bids. One of them were around the city engineer estimate, which was about 700,000, and the other 3 were much higher, mostly like 40 to 50% above the city engineer estimate, and also above the budget that we have for these projects. Unfortunately, the low bidder was asked to withdraw because of the error in his math additions and other issue 2. So we are requesting to reject the bid and also make a change on the design to make it clear for the new bidders to come straight forward with a good estimate to the city.
Okay, any questions? Commissioner Jacinto.
Thank you. Safet, so that the clarifications that we'll make in the bid, we are thinking will result in more manageable, more bids closer to the city engineer estimate?
That's exactly, Commissioner, yes.
Thank you.
Mr. Jordan, your thoughts on this? I know we don't like to essentially force someone on a bid that is a job they don't want. You don't get a good product typically when that's the case. But is this a legal bid rejection based on their? I guess my question might be: is their removal of their own bid proper in this instance?
I don't know all of the details about the withdrawal of the apparent low bidder's bid. However, speaking more generally, a low bidder is allowed to withdraw their bid if they make certain errors. I don't know if the board has actually approved their withdrawal. If we have already approved of their withdrawal, then I would just point out that when we rebid the project, any bidder who has submitted a bid and then withdrawn their bid is precluded from rebidding. But if this company had indicated that it wanted to withdraw their bid but hadn't actually done so, then they would be allowed to bid. So we may want to get clarification as to whether that bidder has already withdrawn their bid, because it will make a difference as to whether they are eligible to rebid.
Has the bidder withdrawn their bid?
They're asking to withdraw, but I don't know if they are really withdrawing.
Asking to withdraw is not withdrawing, so then they have not withdrawn their bid. So the Bureau's recommendation is to reject all bids. Sounds like there may have been other reasons, other potential things with their bid. Staff said, and they were, staff alluded to other things, but again, I don't know what those
the Bureau, let me ask this question. If the Bureau wants to reject all these bids and do something differently, correct?
Yes. Yeah, to just make just a revision on the plans to make sure that there's no ambiguity on understanding what the plan is exactly for.
Okay, so, and the Bureau thinks that we'll get better bids as a result of that effort?
That's exactly.
Okay. Then that said, Mr. Jordan, given the tentative nature of this withdrawal, is our action in any way creating any kind of benefit to the entity that says they want to withdraw but hasn't officially withdrawn because maybe they can get to bid the next time around?
I don't think they're going to get any kind of unfair advantage in this situation. It sounds like they will be able to participate in the subsequent round of bidding, so the city is not losing out on a potential bidder who would otherwise be not qualified.
So you're okay with it?
Bottom line is we're fine with support the recommendation.
All right, thank you. Any other questions? Commissioner Santos made a motion that we adopt agenda item number 7, seconded by Commissioner Davis. Thank you, sir. Any objection? With that objection, we will adopt agenda item number 7. Any issues sending 7 forthwith? We'll send 7 forthwith. Thank you for your help, Mr. Jordan. Agenda item number 8, Council Districts 1, 4, 9, 10, 11, 13. Bid rejection, sidewalk repair program, package number 34 project, recommending that the board reject all bids for this project. Ms. Kim.
Good morning. I am Alice Kim. I'm with the Bureau of Engineering Sidewalk Division, and I'm here before you to request the Board of Public Works to reject all bids for the sidewalk repair program, package number 34, due to programs changing priorities. So this package was advertised back in January 27, 2017, and the bids received on February 14, 2017. The scope includes sidewalk and related repairs for Council Districts 1, 4, 9, 10, 11, and 13. The city's estimate was $2,085,349. The sites include city facilities and also council district request, which includes commercial and residential areas. Now, these sites will be reassigned to a future bid package as we have available funding. So therefore, the sidewalk division recommends that these bids be rejected.
So let me see if I can put this in my terms. We have a sidewalk rebate program, and some money is set aside for the rebate program. And we have a circumstance where if we don't spend that money in the rebate program, we can move it over into the repair program so we can use that money to get to the $31 million that we need to spend and get sidewalks repaired, so that rebate money that wasn't applied for doesn't get unspent.
That's correct.
Okay. And then we increased the money for the rebate program to entice more people into the rebate program.
That's correct.
And that has worked.
Yes.
So because of that, we don't necessarily think we're going to have the money to switch over to spend in the regular program. And that could affect this project. So because of that, we need to reject the bids on this project so we can reassess what money is going to be available.
That's correct. So we want to make sure we reserve enough funding for the rebate program.
Okay. Great. Thank you. Any questions? Okay. Commissioner Santos made a motion that we adopt agenda item number 8, seconded by Commissioner Davis. Any objection? Without objection, we will adopt agenda item number 8. Any issue sending number 8 forthwith? We will send number 8 forthwith. Thank you, ma'am. Agenda item number 3, a budget revision and revised construction orders, emergency sewer repairs on the Brazil Street right-of-way project. It's 4500 block, Council District 13. Recommending that the board authorize a revised construction budget of a not-to-exceed amount of $700,000 for the project, and authorize the city engineer to issue revised construction orders up to $700,000 to Andrew Papik and Sons to complete the project. Bilal Tamimi, hello, sir.
Good morning. My name is Bilal Tamimi. I'm a project engineer for this project, the sewer emergency on 4500 block of Brazil Street, presenting Bureau of Engineering, Wastewater Conveyance Construction Division. I'm here to request the authority to revise the construction budget and issue a revised construction order for Andrew Papik up to $700,000. Back in April 17, 27, the board authorized the revised construction budget and issue a revised construction order for 4500 block of Brazil Street for Andrew Papik for up to $650,000 to do the emergency sewer repair of the original request came from Bureau of Sanitation to repair 2 void on the NOS. In addition, there was 15 feet of sewer repair due to a heavy rain in January 2017 that we added to the job. And that's why the city engineer cost estimate of the $650 to complete the project was based on available information that was submitted by the contractor. However, late August 2017, the contractor submitted additional payment and additional information that we reviewed, increased the cost up to $50,000. That's why I'm here to request to increase the budget and request to revise the construction order to Papik by $700,000.
Thank you. Any questions on agenda item number 3? Commissioner Cinto?
Thank you. Bilal, I guess the question would be, is this all that we need to complete?
Yes, the job is done.
No other additional requests?
No more additional comments.
Thank you.
This gets it done?
Yes.
Okay. Commissioner Santos made a motion that we adopt agenda item number 3. I'll second it. Any objection? Without objection, we will adopt agenda item number 3. Any issue sending number 3 forthwith? We will send number 3 forthwith. Thank you. Agenda item number 4, task for solicitation number 40, Cheviot Hills Recreation Center Sports Field Lighting Project and Richie Valens Park Sports Court Lighting Project. Recommending that the board first authorize the city engineer to issue the task to SOMAS from the pre-qualified on-call civil consultants list to provide civil, electrical, and structural design services for the 2 sports courts field lighting projects as stated in task order solicitation number 40 with a budget authority of $110,000, which includes contingency and reimbursable expenses. On agenda item number 4, Eric Chang. Hello, sir.
Good morning. My name is Eric Chang, and I'm a
project manager for these two projects. I'm here to request the board to authorize the city engineer to issue these two projects, Chevy Hills Rec Center and Richie Valley Park's sports field lighting project to SOMA to provide electrical design for this project. This is basically a series of projects that put out by Rick and Park that to convert the existing sports lighting in general. It could be soccer field, basketball court, tennis court to LED. And this is the two projects that are coming forward. And there'll be others that also along the way. And SOMA is the sole proposal on this project. It's a very specialized just for sports lighting. And we are happy that looking forward to this project to deliver for Rec and Park. Question that you may have?
Sir, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
Would you present that one more time?
I'm sorry. Maybe.
Yeah, we had a
Sure, no
sidebar
problem. Yeah.
discussion that was interrupting me, and I don't want to vote on something that I'm
No,
not.
not a problem at all.
Go ahead.
I'm here to present two projects, Chevy Hills Rec Center and Richie Valley Park Sports Court Lighting. Basically, these two projects, one of them is actually baseball. Mostly it consists of baseball field lighting, and Richie Valley tennis court and basketball court. And this is a series of projects coming through Rec and Park. They are converting the existing sports field in general, sports lighting in general, to LED. Much of maybe like Bureau Street Lighting have been done for this for their own for the street, and this is being done through BOE, and we're providing the design, and we'll also be delivered the project for Rec and Park in the coming years. Other than that, and SOMA is we went through the on-call vendor through a civil engineering list, and SOMA is the only provider for the design, and we were confident that they could do the work to support the design with BOE, and looking forward for the project delivery.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Thank you for indulging me there. Commissioner Jacinto, we'll start with you.
Thank you, President James. Eric, good to hear this. The conversion of existing lighting to LED, more high efficiency lighting. Better. Do you have an idea over the course of operations? If we're converting it for 110,000, just interested in the recapture rate or how much we'll save. Is that anywhere in?
I don't have it off of that, but I mean definitely I could provide that with Rec and Park. I know they've also been working closely with Water and Power. This one here is POP-K funded. I know they've been working with various funding project is coming through us through POP-K program, but I'll try to get those data for you.
Let's do that, please. I'd love to understand for the public good in terms of upgrading and spending money to be more efficient, energy efficient. It's all about being sustainable. So
Agreed.
Please get back to us on that. Thank you.
Okay. Commissioner Jacinto? Okay, and thank you for the use of your board report. I don't know where mine was. It's sitting on my desk, probably. And thank you for the second presentation. I'll second it. Any objection? Without, not a difficult one, frankly. Without objection, we'll adopt agenda item number 4. Thank you, sir. Any issue sending number 4 forthwith? We will send number 4 forthwith. Council District number 13 for number 5, tree removal 6220 through 6258 West Sunset Boulevard and 6223 through 6249 West Leland Avenue, recommending that the board or certify that the board has reviewed and considered the information in the environmental impact report. This is an EIR, not an M&D. For the project at 6220 through 6268, there's a typo in that, in the body of the language there, just for our record. West Sunset Boulevard and 6223 to 6249 West Leland Avenue, and find that the information contained therein appropriately addresses the requested tree removals, which Mr. Tyson will confirm. Number 2, find that the project will not have a significant environmental effect under the above described EIR, as the imposition of the mitigation measures described in the EIR and incorporated herein as project conditions, and that there is no substantial evidence the proposed project will have a significant effect on the environment pursuant to the city's environmental guidelines and is in compliance with the California Environmental Quality Act. Number 3, find that the project's conflict with any local policies or ordinances protecting biological resources, such as tree preservation policies or ordinances, is less than significant with the incorporation of mitigation measures BIO1 as contained in the EIR. Number 4, adopt the EIR. Number 5, specify that the Bureau of Street Services Urban Forestry Division located at 1149 South Broadway is custodian of the documents or other material that constitute the record of proceedings upon which the board's decision is based. And number 6, approve the request for a fee tree removal permit for 2 Brazilian pepper trees and 1 Mexican fan palm tree, 3 trees. Tree replacements are required. Mr. Tyson, go ahead, sir.
Good morning, President James, Commissioners, Bureau Representative, City Attorney, and the Executive Officer. The Bureau was contacted by Essex Portfolio, LP, and they will be merging and re-subdividing a 90,139 square foot site into 2 lots. Lot 1 will consist of the development of 200 dwelling units with 5% 9 unit of the units restricted as very low income households and 4,700 square feet of ground floor commercial area. Lot 2 will consist of existing Earl Carroll Theater building located at 6220 through 6258 West Sunset Boulevard as part of the vesting tentative tract 74565 and 6223 through 6249 West Leland Avenue as part of the city planning case 2014-750 VCH CHD DB CUB SPP SPR, and that's a lot of abbreviations about that. Contained in the entitlements are Bureau of Engineering's related street improvements. Mr. Dominic Hong, property owner's representative, applied to the Bureau of Engineering for a construction Class B permit to improve West Leland Avenue by any necessary repair or replacement of any off-grade or broken sidewalks, curb, and gutters, and required street improvements under tentative track 74565, and the proposed construction of a new driveway under the city planning case. The Bureau informed Mr. Hong the required street improvements may necessitate street tree removals and therefore recommend he contact the Bureau of Street Services. The Bureau arborist inspected the location on October 10, 2017. The inspection revealed 2 Brazilian pepper trees growing on West Leland Avenue and 1 Mexican fan palm tree growing on West Sunset Boulevard. The Brazilian pepper trees are in fair condition and measure 30 to 48 inches in diameter by 25 feet in height and are growing in 4 by 10 foot tree wells. The Mexican fan palm tree is in fair condition and measures 30 inches in diameter by 75 feet in height, growing in a 4 by 4 foot tree well, and is Cultural Heritage Monument 1136. Within the contents of the letter of determination, Bureau of Engineering condition of approval S3E requires the developer to repair or replace any off-grade or broken sidewalks under tentative track 74565. The required sidewalk improvements will severely impact 2 trees. Within the contents of the letter of determination, City Planning Commission's circulation and driveway access construction of the new driveway access would provide via ingress and egress driveway on West Sunset Boulevard for commercial access under city planning case, and the required driveway installation will necessitate the removal of 1 street tree due to the tree being in the footprint of the new proposed driveway. The Bureau agrees the repair or replacement of the sidewalk, curb, and gutter and the installation of the proposed driveway will require the removal of the 3 street trees. Marisol Rodriguez, 13th Council District Office, was informed of the pending tree removal request, as well as Lambert Geisinger of the Cultural Heritage Commission. Notice of the proposed tree removals were physically posted on the subject trees on August 9, 2017. The proposed tree removals were included in the Bureau of Street Services tree removal notification system, and the Community Forest Advisory Committee was also notified. The applicant shall plant 4 36-inch box-size Hong Kong orchid trees on West Leland Avenue side, and 2 new 22-foot brown trunk Mexican fan palm trees on West Sunset Boulevard to replace the one removed palm tree. And this is exactly what the Cultural Heritage Commission requested, that the trees be replaced with palm trees, which we would have done anyway. But this is a cultural heritage corridor of palm trees, and so therefore we're going to put 2 new trees back in where we had 1 before. So with that end of the report, in order for the ingress and egress to be developed, where the locations have been pre-approved by Los Angeles Department of Transportation, the 1 palm tree will require removal, and the 2 pepper trees over on the Leland Avenue side, in order for the sidewalks and curb repair to take place, will need to be removed as well. So we're recommending the board consider approving the request.
Okay. Any questions for Mr. Tyson? I don't have any questions. Thank you, sir. I'll make a motion that we adopt agenda item number 5. Is there a second?
President James?
Yes.
As you mentioned earlier, the typo is not just in the agenda, it's actually also in the recommendation in the street services report.
Oh.
So that will need to be as amended.
It's not in the, hang on a minute.
So in recommendation 1 on the street services report.
Oh, it is, because it's not in the upper part, but it's in the
Oh,
recommendation 1. Because it's in recommendation 1, we need to amend it. So it needs to, 5258 needs to be amended to 6258, correct? Which is
correct.
The typo that I spotted. So, all right, so then I'll make my own amendment that we adopt agenda item number 5 as amended. Is there a second on number 5? By Commissioner Davis. Any objection? Without objection, we'll adopt agenda item number 5 as amended. Thank you, sir. Any issues sending it forthwith? We will send number 5 forthwith. Thank you, Mr. Tyson.
Thank you.
Agenda item number 6, budget contingency increase and change order number 23, Myers & Sons Construction LP for the Terminal Island Water Reclamation Plant Aeration System Replacement Project, recommending that the board first authorize additional contingency for an amount not to exceed $674,360. Second, authorize the board to authorize the Bureau, I should say. It's kind of unclear. It just says authorized to issue. So, Mr. Jordan, are we authorizing the Bureau to issue preliminary change order number 23, transmittal number 1, correct?
That is my understanding, yes.
All right. And number 3, approve a revised construction budget of $12,418,110 for the Terminal Island Water Reclamation Plant Aeration System Replacement Project. Ms. So, welcome back.
Good morning. Amy So from the Bureau of Engineering's Environmental Engineering Division. We're here for the Terminal Island Water Reclamation Plant Aeration System Replacement, and we're requesting an increase in the budget contingency as well as issuance of preliminary change order number 23 to the contractor. In September of 2015, the contract for the project was awarded to Myers & Sons Construction LP, and the construction budget was the amount of $12,573,750, and that included a 5% contingency. The project involves the installation of 3 new city-furnished blowers and a new aeration system, including all of the associated piping, electrical, and instrumentation work. The aeration system is an important part of the biological treatment process at Terminal Island, and it's a component of the legally mandated secondary treatment. It allows the plant to meet their EPA, Environmental Protection Agency, requirements for discharge. The effluent also from the full secondary treatment process feeds into the Terminal Island Advanced Water Purification Facility, which was recently expanded at Terminal Island to double the plant's capacity to produce a high-quality product water. And the contract included an allowance of $830,000 for Honeywell distributed control systems, hardware, and related services. And this was to integrate the new aeration system into the Los Angeles Wastewater Control System Replacement Program that goes by the acronym LA WINS. In February of 2017, the board authorized an increase in the budget and issuance of change order number 59 to Honeywell International Incorporated to move scope from the Myers contract to the Honeywell contract for the integration of that distributed control system. In January of 2017, there was a flood event, a rainstorm event that caused damage to major pieces of equipment and also contaminated work areas and damaged materials and tools. Right now, the project is about 80% complete, and the remaining work includes completion of the aeration system replacement in 2 more tanks. There were a total of 9 tanks, and 7 of the 9 tanks have already been completed. The additional work would also include relocation of that control equipment. The replacement of the control equipment will be done by LA Winds, and then testing of the system. The preliminary change order number 23 involves the conduits and wiring to connect the signals from the instrumentation and equipment to the new control equipment. And that's about 200 feet of conduits and wiring. And then the project anticipates additional amount to complete the remaining work, which would include decontaminating and cleaning the work areas, replacing the tools and equipment, excavation work, platform for the new equipment, demolishing the conduits and wiring that were already put in place, and temporary signals. So the Bureau is recommending that the board authorize an additional $674,360 in additional contingency and approve a revised construction budget, which would be in the amount of $12,418,110.
Thank you, Ms. So. Were you done?
Yes, I am.
Okay. A couple of things. The project's 80% complete. Does that mean that you're 80% confident that you're likely not going to have another increase before the project's complete?
Yeah, we don't anticipate any other items than the ones that we projected.
Okay. Commissioner Penny.
So just to clarify, because it's a little, but looking at the original contract, the original contingency, the new authorized budget, in spite of adding the contingency, is actually lower because you completed some of the work under the LA Winds contract?
Right. The work that was moved to the LA Winds contract, that would be the amount of $830,000. That will be reflected in the final closeout change order. So the new authorized budget, the way that calculation was done was the original authorized budget minus $830,000 plus the requested additional contingency.
So did Honeywell end up working on this, or they just provided equipment?
The portion that Honeywell works on under the LA Winds contract would be the equipment, the hardware, the software, and related services. And the portion under the Myers contract would be the electrical conduit, the support for the equipment.
But it sounds like the work was done by Myers.
The work by Myers would be the electrical conduit and wiring to connect to the equipment and the foundation for it.
Okay. Thanks, Amy.
Okay, thank you. Commissioner Davis.
In looking at the change orders, the triggering event that caused the need for this additional work was the storm, the flood. Is that correct?
That's correct.
As a result of the flood, were there any opportunities in which to go out to contract to other individuals to pursue the additional tasks that had to take place as a result of the triggering event?
As part of the contract, Myers, as part of the original contract award, they were required to participate in the business inclusion program. So they had to pledge a list of subcontractors for the project. And in the additional work, there are opportunities for subcontractors, such as cleaning and decontamination and other work areas.
What has yet to be done? Explain to me the business inclusion portion here. Is it listed here in this report? I don't see it. Would it be listed in this report?
It's not listed in the report.
Okay.
It would be part of the contract award report for the original contract.
Okay, so that's to be coming to us. explain to me the diversity in terms of the business inclusion portion of the additional work that developed as a result of the triggering event. Can you explain that to me?
I would have to get the information and bring it back to the board.
Anything further? Commissioner Davis, can this go forward and you get that information subsequently offline?
Some of the work has been done, but the majority of the work that's anticipated has not yet been done. So a little bit of the cleaning has been done, some of the wiring work, but up to the point where we ran out of construction contingency, that's awaiting this board decision.
How about we do this? We have various reports come back to us on projects that report specifically on the business inclusion results of a number of different projects. We've had several of those on the agenda fairly recently. Why don't we have this? Why don't we do the same thing here? Is that okay, Ms. Stone?
That's fine. Yes, we'll do that.
Great.
Now, thank you, Mr. President. My point is that when we have these triggering events for which we have no control, I want us to capture the opportunity to make sure that business inclusion is all that it could potentially be. Because on the front end, oftentimes, we have not been able to get an opportunity to increase business inclusion to our potential. However, after the project has developed, and then there comes a second bite at the apple, a second chance, I want to make sure that we are maximizing it. I don't want more of the same to continue. You know, our failure in the beginning, and then when something comes up that creates additional work, our failure in the end without any notification of what that is. So,
well, the way to know that is to get the data. Yeah. Okay. Anything else on this item? I'll make a motion that we adopt agenda item number 6. Is there a second on number 6?
President James, would you like
As
to do that?
amended, yes, because of the, so we would amend it to my first point as I was reading the item, to add, it's under the recommendation section, under the word authorize, Bureau of Engineering.
For recommendation number 2, it'd be authorize the city engineer to issue preliminary.
Great. So the motion would be as amended. So a second by Commissioner Jacinto. Do you have something, Commissioner Jacinto?
Yeah, President James, I was going to ask, depending on how fast that we can get the information, and Commissioner Davis, I do support his inquiry in terms of, we're at 10% change orders, and that's an additional expenditures, and our board supports our BIP inclusion numbers as much as possible. Could we get that, maybe not send it forthwith, but I would love to get those. Yeah, so that would be within the next day or two.
Yes,
Okay,
we'll do
so
that.
we can get that. So I'd support it and maybe hold it from going forthwith to get those numbers.
Oh, okay. So just support it, and then it automatically goes after the. That's fine. No problem. We'll take the vote, and we all know Ms. So's responsiveness to this board, which is excellent. We will. I'll still make the motion as amended, seconded by Commissioners Repenning and Jacinto as amended. Any objection? Without objection, we will adopt agenda item number 6. Thank you, ma'am.
All right, thank you.
Agenda item number, we did not go forthwith. Yeah. By not saying anything, it did not go forthwith. All right. Yeah. So that clears us of all voting items, correct?
Still the minutes left to vote on.
Oh, well, we have the minutes. Is there a second to my motion that we approve the meeting minutes of the meeting of Wednesday, January 10th, 2018? Commissioner Davis, any objection? Without objection, the meeting minutes are approved. I had them sitting right here. So we've cleared the voting items. I would like to reopen general public comment. We have a presentation today And I have representatives from 3 organizations that have put in speaker cards, Littleton Gardner, Alice Goff, and Simboa Wright. You all can let us know in which order you would like to speak. And the floor is yours.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much, President James, for indulging us at the last minute. We were in council because this begins an incredible period for our brothers who are sanitation workers, not just in AFSCME, but obviously here with sanitation workers from the city of Los Angeles who are members of SEIU. But tomorrow marks 50 years since 2 sanitation workers died on the job. On the morning of February 1st, 1968, Robert Walker and Echo Cole were crushed to death in a gruesome accident involving a faulty trash truck. Brothers Walker and Cole were sanitation workers in the city of Memphis, Tennessee, and members of AFSCME, Local 1733. These brothers were seeking shelter from the rain, shelter that was afforded their white counterparts. The death of the 2 workers served as a catalyst, and on February 12, 1968, those members of AFSCME Local 1733 went on strike. They refused to continue to endure racial hostility and humiliation on the job and were tired of poverty wages and unsafe working conditions. But most of all, they wanted recognition of their union. By walking off the job, the sanitation workers asserted their humanity as evidenced by the famous slogan, "I am a man." On April 3rd, 1968, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. went to Memphis for the 4th time to support and join in solidarity with the workers because he believed that labor rights, civil rights, human rights were all one and the same. In his very last message to the workers and the community, Dr. King said, "We've got to give ourselves to this struggle until the end. Nothing would be more tragic than to stop at this point in Memphis. We've got to see it through." The following day, Dr. King made the ultimate sacrifice. So here we are 50 years later. Workers are faced with the Supreme Court case of Janus versus AFSCME. It's ironic that it's AFSCME, but anyway, that case seeks to take away the freedom of working folks to join together in strong unions. Unions give workers a powerful voice in speaking up for themselves, their families, and their communities. Unions provide hardworking people economic stability for their families and the tools to build a good life, possibly own a home, and provide education for themselves and their children. And the beauty of it is that collective voice of the union advocates for policies that benefit all working people, not just those within the union as the general belief, but all working people benefits from what the unions are able to achieve. So 50 years after the strike and the sacrifice, we continue to struggle for labor rights, civil rights, and human rights. So inspired by Dr. King's courage and his moral example, today's labor movement and our community allies are answering the call. And I just have to tell you that because we sort of pulled this together quickly, Pastor Smart, the president and CEO of the SCLC of Southern California, I should say, the Southern Christian Leadership Conference of Southern California, Dr. King's organization was with us in Chambers. We also had Brother Rob from Lane, Lane being a policy advocate for community and safety and clean environment in the city of Los Angeles. But we have 2 strong brothers from SEIU who would also like to deliver their message.
Thank you, ma'am.
Good morning. My name is Littleton Gardner. I represent the Department of Sanitation. Solid side, I'm out of the North Central District. I would just like to say sanitation is a non-deferrable department. We're requested to pick up or collect items, no matter what the circumstances are. Just like you heard, it was raining and those two gentlemen were still at work, but they weren't allotted to sit somewhere where it was safe for them. So no matter the circumstances, we still have to work. We're the face of the department. Every week, those residents are expecting those containers to be collected. And when something is brought up from the Department of Sanitation, I would just ask that all of you strongly, listen to it and, just listen to what the request is, because it's not something that's too far-fetched. We're just asking for something to get a job done. Just like the mayor has implemented Clean Streets Initiative. That's something that helps all of us to do a job better. Whether it's us picking something up that's blocking something that street services has to get to, we're all one team. And I just ask that whenever somebody requests something, that we all consider it and take, responsibility for all of our actions. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Good morning. Thank you for having us,
See you again.
President and Commissioners. My name is Simboy Wright. I'm a proud sanitation employee with the City of Los Angeles. I'm even prouder to be a part of a union, SEIU Local 721. Just a little background about the union. I'm the chair of the African American Caucus, and I'm an executive board member of Local 721. That's how important it is, because without unions, 50 years ago, these men were fighting just to have a voice, to have a union, to protect them for safety. Sanitation workers, our job is the 5th most deadliest job in the United States. So 50 years now, we have a lot of protections because of the union, because of the board, because of the City of Los Angeles working together with the union. So with that, I'm going to cut it short. I know this is something that wasn't planned, but I want to just ask if we could just take a moment of silence for the two gentlemen that was killed fighting for rights, fighting to continue to serve the public and protect the environment. If we could just take a moment of silence, please. Thank you. With that, I truly appreciate you guys, what you do, but please continue to remember sanitation is the environmental department. We protect public health and safety. And one more thing, before I forget, there's always two sides of sanitation. There's the solids and the wastewater side. Wastewater is out of sight, out of mind. I know we have people that have done ride-alongs. We do appreciate that. But remember, we all are one. And it's two sides, but we're one. And a lot of times, the wastewater side is out of sight, out of mind. So I want to make sure that we all understand that sanitation is the environmental health department. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. And we'll start with Commissioner Davis.
I want to, first of all, thank your leaders, President Alice Goff of ASME, who not only has led labor, but also in our community is the chair of the Southern Christian Leadership Conference here in the city of Los Angeles, of which Public Works has supported that effort in the work for fairness, justice, and equality. We thank each and every one of you for bringing this issue to our attention. It was 50 years ago this week that these two men lost their lives, and subsequently Dr. King lost his life, fighting for the principle of how important labor unions are, because they make organizations respect the rights, the fairness, and justice that is duly and should be duly entitled to workers. Particularly, public service ought to be the example. And when we look at the public policy question of 1968, it was, should government have jobs for people in labor where in fact public safety is not the top priority? And truly, that was the issue in Memphis. And today, we can say that there has been a dramatic improvement across this country in terms of the public safety of public servants who are in the sanitation area. And so the work of the union has been realized in terms of the improvement of the public safety of workers. We were just earlier thanking one of our supervisors here, and we talked about the quality of public servants. And one of the issues that I raised was listening. and you've asked us to listen. And we know that that is probably the most important quality that a leader should have. As we think about the time in which you have come here, it is in between the birthday of Dr. Martin Luther King and on the dawning of African American History Month. And that is critically important as we think about this issue of diversity and why in this country it has been so critically difficult over the years for a class of people, many of whom have been through the institution of slavery on one hand, had fought Jim Crow on the other hand, had engaged in a system of segregation further, and today still fight to make sure that they can be included in, not only in government jobs, but also in private contracting of jobs and work. And so this work in America to create the opportunity for the dream is still alive, and it still exists today. Every day that we come to the Board of Public Works, we fight on this board to make sure that there can be diversity and inclusion. I know that Commissioner Heather Repenning was at the SCLC dinner, and she has the awesome responsibility of oversight for sanitation for this board, and joins Kevin James and Jacinto and myself in fighting to make sure that we have inclusion on both sides of the table, in government service on one hand, and we fight to make sure we have it in private inclusion of businesses as well on the other hand. So I thank you in summary for coming here today. It is historically important for us. You hold us accountable, as labor always does, to do the right thing, to make sure that the dream is available for all individuals within our purview. So once again, I thank you so much, Alice, and I know that you are retiring, and I thank you for your life's work. It speaks to itself that you just don't go home after your work in labor. You, after you get home, are working in our community, and so I thank you for that. And you are certainly a living legend in our community, and we are so appreciative of your work. And David Sanders as well, I don't know where he is.
Hiding over
Is he
there.
hiding? We'd like to thank you, David, for SEIU, because you collectively support and represent the sanitation workers here in the city of Los Angeles. And we intend to answer the call of accountability to make sure that the American dream is alive and well here in the city of Los Angeles. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Davis. Commissioner Penning.
Thank you, Commissioner Davis, for your comments. I just also want to thank you all for coming in today, and I want to thank you for the work that you do. You know, to me, the work that sanitation performs in the city creates the basic condition upon which everything else can grow and hopefully thrive. Clean neighborhoods, clean and safe neighborhoods. It is basic. And you guys are out there every day, 7 days a week, on the solid side, on the wastewater side, doing that work. The work can be dangerous. It is, and you guys are out there, and it's very important for us that you're represented, that you're a strong voice, because you're making it possible for the rest of us to do our work. And it's important that that folks that are making that effort have the opportunity and the ability to live in our city, to afford to live in our city, to afford to be able to raise their families in our city. And so for that, I want to just thank you all. I want to thank the strong leadership from our union partners. And I also want to, I think it's somewhat topical because we are, in the midst of a big program to regulate the private side of waste collection. And, we're getting beat up pretty badly for it. There are some problems that we're, working really hard to fix. But at the end of the day, part of that, one of the goals of that program is really to provide safety because on the private side, it has not been safe. The facilities have not been safe. And so, we're doing that as well. I, again, just want to thank you guys, and we are deeply grateful for the work that you do every day.
Thank you. Let me just say a couple of things. To Commissioner Repenning's point regarding the Recicla franchise on the private side, we are your partners we certainly see ourselves as that. We hope you see us as that as well in everything that you do. But in part of it is continuing, and this is to Commissioner Davis's point too, continuing to educate the public on the safety needs and the requirements and the benefits of what labor unions provide and what benefits to the community your service provides. Just yesterday, and I know from my conversation with the reporter, we were talking about the waste hauler franchise. I was on the phone with an editorial writer from the Wall Street Journal, and she had indicated that the day before yesterday, she had spoken to Rob at Lane. And she had spoken to Rob for 45 minutes, and she was speaking to me for half an hour, and we spent, and I'm sure that Rob had the same opportunity. I don't doubt that she's comparing notes with what I said versus what Rob said. But one of the issues that I attempted to drive home with her, and hope that I was successful in doing so, is the importance of this program to the safety of our workers. And Mr. Wright, I quoted the same article that you referenced to the Wall Street Journal. It was a New York article that referenced the statistics on how your industry is the fifth most dangerous industry. And I don't know if you might have seen that article. There's an article from one of the New York publications. I couldn't remember which one. But the stories today still are unbelievable. And it's a big element, as Commissioner Penning said, as to why we still believe in the challenges that we face and will overcome on this program on the private side that will benefit us across the board immensely. But that is one of the key, if not the key elements of the reason for the transition from what was a Wild West system to what is an exclusive franchise system. And I don't doubt that the Wall Street Journal was wanting to know our take on it and investigating our program, because the city of New York is looking at doing the same thing. But if Los Angeles, once they see our success, and then New York follows suit and other big cities follow suit, then you really start to make much more of the difference that Commissioner Davis referenced in having a national impact. And one of the things that was, we'll see what the story looks like, but one of the things that was exciting about having the opportunity to talk about it is the Wall Street Journal is a national newspaper. Now, I don't know what angle they're going to take on the story, but you can't deny the benefits, no matter what your angle is on the story, of the importance of worker safety. So thank you all. Mr. Sanders, always good to see you, sir. Ms. Goff, I made a comment earlier about people coming in here and talking about retirement. You know, that's always a problem because it's hard to replace the institutional knowledge. We celebrate when our employees retire, and we celebrate that they enter that chapter of life with their families and their friends, but it's hard for us to lose such incredible leadership, of which you are one when you enter that. But we're excited for you and excited to hear about it. And I saw a smile on your face when Commissioner Davis referenced it. And Mr. Wright, I've got to say, I saved you for last. It doesn't matter in what part of the city I'm in. If I see you in the hall, if we're out on the street, you always make a point. You're the best. He's the best ambassador for 721 and for his division at the Bureau of Sanitation, because he makes a point to come up to me, to say hello, and just always put a face on the work that you all are doing. So with that, I've gone way over.
Mr. President,
Davis is going to take even more time.
No. I just want to simply acknowledge one of our other labor leaders, Cheryl Parisi, who's Executive Director of ASME District 36, who's here with us as well. Thank you, Cheryl, for being here.
Yes, and thank you, Commissioner Davis, for doing that. And Ms. Parisi, thank you for the work that you do really globally. You're in a lot of meetings with us, and we hope that we continue to make progress. So you're just very appreciated up here. I hope that you feel that today, and thank you for taking the time to come in and share your purpose today and the reflection of what happened 50 years ago, because we still have a lot of work to do, but we'll do it. Thank you all. So that takes care of that item. We have an oral report due from some of our bureaus. Sherry, you get to be first today. And it's no reflect on your report. I've just got to grab a phone call. So I'm going to step out for a moment. I may be back. We'll see.
Thank you. My name is Sherry Kuroki. I'm with Sanitation, here to present our quarterly report for the period ending December 31st, 2017. The total amount billed since the last quarter is $49.5 million. The total for contracts with subcontractor participation is as follows. For the older MBE-WB outreach program contracts, it was $28.1 million. For the business inclusion program contracts, $21.4 million, and the breakdown is as follows. For the older outreach program contracts, MBE 1.8%, WBE 11.3%, OBE 9.6%, for a total of 22.7%. For the business inclusion program contracts, the breakdown is MBE 15.1%, WBE 2.1%, SBE 4.0%, EBE 1.9%, DVBE 1.1%, OBE 7.3%, for a total of 31.6%. We have 9 solid waste / biosolids contracts expiring within the next 9 months. 4 of the contracts will be renewed. 2 of them are with CR&R. 1 is with Geo-Environment Technologies, and the 4th one is with Southern California Disposal Company. Sanitation will be exercising renewal options contained in all 4 contracts. 5 contracts won't be renewed. Those are with NASA Services, Universal Waste, USA Waste, Denali Water Solutions, and Big Belly Solar. The first 3 will be expiring because we now have the Recycla program, so those contracts aren't required. And the last 2, Denali Water and Big Belly, those will be replaced with new contracts through the RFP process. We have 5 wastewater contracts expiring within the next 9 months. 3 of them will be renewed. The first one is with Myron Electric Corporation. I spoke about this in numerous previous reports. We'll be exercising a renewal option containing that contract. The second is Kuneho Crest Landscape. That's for Japanese garden landscaping services. Sanitation will be amending that contract to increase the term and the cost ceiling. And then third, the Hoffman Southwest DBA Professional Pipe Services. That's for sewer condition assessment using CCTV, and sanitation will also be exercising a renewal option containing that contract. We have 2 wastewater contracts that we won't be renewing. Those are with Ballard Marine Construction and Golden Bell Products, and sanitation will be awarding new contracts for those 2. We have 18 contracts with subcontractor deviation concerns. That's actually up 2 from last quarter. Majority of the deviations are with task orders awarded under our wastewater on-call contracts. I'll just briefly talk about the main reasons for the deviations. The first one being that the subcontractors will be utilized during later phases of the projects. Also, oftentimes, sanitation revises the scope of services for the projects, and therefore the subcontractor goals may not be met. We occasionally, sanitation has our own staff perform some of the services, and occasionally invoice information doesn't get inputted into the database before the report's generated. And that's it. Any questions?
I don't have any questions. Colleagues? Okay, thank you, Sherry.
Thank you.
Thanks so much for the report. Ed? Good morning.
Good morning. Eddie Ohanian from Bureau of Engineering. I'm here to provide quarterly report on the status of personal services contracts managed by the Bureau of Engineering for the period of October 1st, 2017 to December 31st, 2017. There were 144 active contracts during the period. A new group of 11 contracts was executed to replace geotechnical and environmental services contracts, which expired in on December 10, 2017. Additionally, 3 contracts from Public Safety Bond Program Architectural Services expired and were archived. And there was 1 contract amended during the reporting period, and that was for Fire Bond Program Project Management and Construction Management Services, and that happened on October 1st, 2017. We received a total of $6,033,776 in invoices during the period. 73 of our 144 active contracts are MBE-WB outreach program contracts with a total invoice amount of $2,273,258. 10% of this amount was invoiced by minority business enterprises. 5.9% of that amount was invoiced by women business enterprise. 57 of our 144 contracts are business inclusion program contracts with a total invoice amount of $1,167,042. 7.5% of this amount was invoiced by minority business enterprise. 0.9% was invoiced by WBE, Women Business Enterprise. 4.9% was invoiced by Small Business Enterprise. 2.6% was invoiced by Emerging Business Enterprise. And finally, 0.5% was invoiced by Disabled Veterans Business Enterprise. 14 of 144 contracts are disadvantaged business enterprise contracts with a total invoice amount of $2,593,476. 13.4% of this amount was invoiced by disadvantaged business enterprise. 10 new task orders with a total value of $3,064,523 was issued during the reporting period. 6 were under $100,000 and 4 of them were above $100,000. In a summary, out of 144 contracts at the time that this report was prepared, there were 13 contracts with a negative deviation from their pledged amounts. However, after a close review of these 13 contracts and discussions with the contract managers, it was determined that there was sufficient funds and time still remaining in those contracts for the contractors to meet their pledges. So at this point, we should be all in compliance.
Any questions? Thank you, Mr. Hanian.
Thank you.
Contract administration. Hi.
Good morning, Commissioner and executive staff. My name is Gerald Chong, and I'm with the Office of Wage Standards, Bureau of Contract Administration. On May 6, 2016, the board adopted an executive contracts with 12 consultants that were placed on our pre-qualified on-call list for various wage standards enforcement and implementation projects. Of those 12, 0 contracts will be expiring within the next 9 months. During this reporting period, which covers the second quarter of this fiscal year, 2017 through 2018, the total paid invoice amount was $45,208.62. The total notice to proceed amount issued was for $117,600, and 1 new task order solicitation was issued. The invoice received during this period reflect that our consultants reached 115,175 employers and 4,447 employees. On November 21st, 2017, after receiving this board's approval, TOS OWS 18-001 was awarded to the following 7 consultants: Coalition for Humane Immigrant Rights of Los Angeles, Center for Living and Learning, Garment Workers Center, Koreatown Immigrant Workers Alliance, Community Partners, Los Angeles Black Workers Center, Restaurant and Opportunity Center, and Warehouse Worker Resource Center. Recently, we issued TOS OWS 18-002, which consists of a direct community outreach campaign to employers operating businesses in the city of Los Angeles. We are currently in the process of negotiations for this TOS. It has not yet been awarded. As we are waiting for board approval, we will be presenting our recommendations to your board in the near future. This concludes my presentation, and we are happy to answer any questions you may have. Thank you.
Commissioner Davis?
In terms of the companies that we have, the organizations that we have doing outreach to the various communities, I hope this is accurate that I have. Who's doing the South LA area?
Commissioners, I can answer that question for you. South LA will be reached by LA Black Worker Center as well as Koreatown Immigrant Workers. Oh, I'm sorry, that was for another toss. For 18-001 specifically.
Okay, so we did add the Black Worker Center to.
Well, that was, this is for 18-001, which is for employee outreach.
I see.
Yeah, 18-002 will be presenting to you on Friday.
Okay.
Yeah, and previous tosses for the invoice amounts that you're seeing here, Koreatown Immigrant Workers Alliance had gone to South LA.
In this particular one that I have before me, the Korean American Apparel Association, you said?
This report reflects the second quarter of fiscal year 17-18. Within that period, we paid for invoices for TOS OWS 17-010, which...
I don't have the Black Workers Center here on my list.
Right, because we didn't pay any of those invoices yet. The work is currently being performed. Right.
Anything further? Thank you very much for the report. Mr. Mendoza, have we cleared the desk?
Yes, you have.
Okay, I'll go ahead and adjourn today's meeting, Wednesday, January 31st, 2018. Meeting adjourned.